Okay, so, like, we've all been there, right? You need something, but just for a little while, so you think, rent it.
Right.
But usually we're thinking cars, maybe a vacation house, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, get ready to think differently,
Okay.
because today we're doing a deep dive into office equipment rentals.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's way more interesting than it might sound at first.
Okay.
We're going through all this stuff about rental service representatives,
Okay.
what they do, where their careers can go, and maybe, just maybe, if this could be the job for you.
I see. What's interesting here is um, we don't always think about it, but these representatives are really important.
Right.
They're not just, taking orders and stuff. It's like they're matching people up. But instead of people, it's businesses and the right equipment.
I like that.
Yeah. And it takes a special mix of like customer service skills,
Yeah.
knowing how to get things done, and even some technical stuff.
So they're like, what, like the conductors of the office orchestra?
Something like that.
Making sure everything's in sync.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of everything, I was surprised by all the different equipment.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not just your basic copy machine, right?
No, not at all. Think like super high-tech printers,
Wow.
the kind that could probably launch a rocket, or 3D scanners like from the movies, even, those fancy ergonomic workstations.
Right, right.
Businesses rent it all.
Wow.
And it's not just about being easy. It kind of shows how the economy's changing.
How so?
Well, companies, they want to be flexible, save money, especially now when everything's moving so fast.
That makes sense. Why buy a whole, I don't know, a whole buffet when all you need is like a small plate?
Exactly.
But okay, for someone thinking about this job, what does a typical day even look like?
Let me see.
Yeah, paint us a picture.
Picture this. The phone rings, and it's like an event planner totally freaking out. They need 10 projectors, like right now,
Okay.
across town. A representative, they got to stay calm,
Yeah.
talk them through the options, figure out how to get those projectors there on time, and maybe even do some tech support over the phone.
Wow.
Then later that day, they could be like setting up a rental agreement for a new company that's trying out some cutting-edge software.
Okay, so it's nonstop.
Pretty much.
Client calls, paperwork, and like you said, knowing their way around the tech.
Yeah, you got it.
It's really about more than just knowing the equipment. It's
Yeah.
got to be about the client, what they need, how to solve their problems.
Exactly. And that's where those certifications we talked about come in.
Oh, yeah, the CRP and CEM.
Yep, those ones. Those tell employers that you're serious.
So it's not just a fancy title on a business card.
No, it means you know the industry, the best ways to do things.
It's like leveling up your character in a video game.
Huh, yeah, something like that. Gives you an edge.
Okay, so that's the day-to-day. But what about moving up in this job?
Right, the career path. So
Yes.
it's well-defined, which is good.
Good.
Lots of room to grow. It's not a dead end. You can climb that ladder, get to some exciting places.
Okay, I like it. I like it. So take us through it. Where does someone, like a brand new rental service representative, where do they start?
Well, usually you'd start as a trainee. Like you're learning the ropes.
Okay.
You're getting to know the company's equipment, how the rental agreements work, and this is big, how to talk to customers the right way.
The basics.
Exactly. You're building your foundation.
Okay, so you're learning the ropes, getting your hands dirty, and probably absorbing a ton of information.
It's a lot, yeah.
What's the next step up from trainee?
So once you've got those basics down, you'd usually move up to a full rental service representative.
Makes sense.
Now you're handling more on your own, maybe dealing directly with clients, managing those rentals, maybe even doing some troubleshooting if there's a tech issue.
No more just shadowing someone. Now you're the one in charge.
That's right.
And we actually have some real examples of what a profile at this level looks like. Yeah, it's really interesting to see how, like, those certifications we talked about, they can really give someone a boost.
Absolutely. You might see someone with a background of business, maybe even logistics,
Right.
and they've got that CRP certification
I see.
that shows they get both sides of it,
The business side and the customer side.
Yep, they've got the knowledge, the experience, and that extra something that makes them stand out.
They've unlocked the secret achievement.
Huh? Exactly.
And it doesn't end there, does it? There are more steps on this ladder.
Oh, for sure. If you're good, you keep learning. You could become a senior rental service representative.
Okay, senior. What's different there?
Well, your responsibilities grow.
Mhm.
It's bigger than just day-to-day rentals. You might be looking at market trends, figuring out pricing, maybe even mentoring the newer folks.
So you're not just doing the work anymore, you're like leading the way.
Yeah, it's a shift from doing to leading.
Gotcha. I bet that comes with a nice sense of accomplishment.
Definitely.
And Probably a better paycheck, too.
You got that right. I mean, we don't talk specific numbers here, but it makes sense that more responsibility often means being rewarded for it.
That's what I like to hear. Okay, so we've gone from trainee to senior representative. What's next? What's at the top of this ladder?
Well, from senior, you could be on your way to being a rental service manager.
Okay.
And that means you're running the show, overseeing teams, handling budgets, making those connections with suppliers, making sure everything's running smoothly.
Sounds like a tough job, but really rewarding.
It is. You're not just responsible for yourself anymore. You're responsible for a whole team's success.
Exactly.
And then for those who really want to be in charge, who are great at planning and thinking ahead, there's the rental service director role.
Okay, the top dog.
Pretty much. At that level, you're setting the course for everything rentals, finding new opportunities, shaping how the company does rentals for years to come.
Wow. From handling one rental at a time to guiding the whole company.
Yep, that's the path.
That's pretty amazing. But let's be real for a second. Even with a clear career path like that, actually landing the job, that's a whole other thing.
Oh, you're telling me it's competitive out there.
It is, which is why I'm really glad we're looking at RoleCatcher today. They're using AI to, give job seekers an advantage.
You really are.
And one thing that caught my eye was how they're tackling job interviews.
Oh, yeah. What'd you think?
Well, AI is everywhere now, but interviews, that's still a very human thing, you know?
It is.
How does that even work?
So RoleCatcher has this huge database of interview questions, right?
Okay.
But it's not just any questions. They're specifically for different jobs, including, you guessed it, rental service representative.
They're not just throwing what are your strengths and weaknesses at you.
No. It's way more focused than that. They use AI to actually go through job descriptions and figure out what skills and experience employers really want.
Oh, wow.
So you can upload your CV, and their system will compare it to what those employers are looking for.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying this AI can tell me what I need to change on my CV to get noticed?
Exactly.
It's like having your own career coach in the computer.
Right. And that kind of feedback, it's crucial these days. Because so many companies, they're using those applicant tracking systems.
Oh, right, the ATS. Everyone's talking about those.
Yeah, and they can be brutal.
They can feel like black holes for your resume.
Oh,
You
yeah.
send it off, and then nothing.
Exactly. In fact, you know what's crazy? In some industries, like 75% of CDs, they never even get seen by a human.
75%? Are you serious?
Yeah, it's wild. Those ATS systems, they filter them out before a real person even looks at them.
So how are you supposed to get your foot in the door when a computer's the one making the first cut?
That's why it's so important to tailor your CV for each job. You have to speak the ATS's language, you know?
Okay.
That's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in. It helps you crack the code and get your application seen.
It's like having the secret password to get past the bouncer. Okay, so besides the CV stuff, I'm also curious about their interview question database. Is it just a huge, overwhelming list? Or is it organized?
It's really well organized. You can search by job title, industry, even specific skills you want to work on.
So for a rental service representative, I could pull up questions just about customer service or just about certain equipment.
Yep. Or even those tricky ones, you know, the behavioral questions, like how you'd handle a difficult client.
So you can practice those situations beforehand.
Exactly. Preparation is key.
Do they give you any hints on how to answer what? Because knowing the question is one thing, but giving a good answer, that's a whole other thing.
For sure. And they don't just give you one right answer.
Okay.
They give you different approaches, insights into what the interviewers are really looking for. It's about you finding your own way to answer in a way that's authentic.
It's like having your own interview coach in your pocket.
That's the idea.
No more awkward silences or drawing a blank.
Exactly. You'll be prepared.
Okay, before we wrap up this deep dive, one last question. What does the future hold for office equipment rental?
Oh, that's a good one.
With technology changing so fast, will this even be a job in 10 years?
It's a question everyone thinking about this career should be asking.
Right.
You've got remote work on the rise, AI getting smarter every day, even sustainability becoming more important.
Big trends.
Huge. And they're all going to shape how much demand there is for office equipment in the coming years.
So the traditional office might be changing, but the need for equipment, even if it's different equipment, that's probably going to stick around.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like they say the only thing that's constant is change, right?
That's for sure, especially with tech.
Especially with tech. But it's that human element, being able to adapt to solve problems. I think that's what's going to make someone stand out.
Absolutely. That willingness to Roll with the punches and learn new tech, see how it fits into work. That's key. Imagine a rental service rep who not only brings you the latest holographic display, but can also show you how to use it in a presentation. That's valuable.
Yeah, it's like being a tech advisor, helping businesses get ready for what's next.
Exactly. And that's what I mean about how the skills for this job are changing.
Yeah.
Knowing the tech is important, always will be, but being able to connect that tech with people,
Yeah.
understand their needs, offer solutions, that's what's going to make a difference.
So it's a job with a future, but you got to stay ahead of the game.
Yes.
Always be learning, be ready for anything.
Exactly. Always be learning.
Now, about RoleCatcher, they have free stuff and paid stuff, right?
They do.
So what's free? What do you get?
So their free plan is really good. You can access a lot, like those interview questions we talked about. It's great for anyone, just checking this career out, or if you need to brush up on job hunting skills.
Perfect for someone just dipping their toes in. But for someone who's ready to go all in, what about the paid version?
That's where you unlock all the good AI stuff. They're really powerful tools like deeper CV analysis, personalized career advice, even direct connections to companies that are hiring in your field.
So they're not just prepping you, they might actually be putting you in the driver's seat.
That's the goal.
That's amazing. Well, I think we've covered a lot today.
We have.
The day-to-day of being a rental service representative, the career path, even what the future might hold.
It's been great exploring all this with you.
And hey, maybe someone listening to this will be the next rental service representative superstar, right?
Maybe so.
Navigating the world of the latest and greatest office tech. As always, keep learning, keep asking questions, and never stop exploring.
Well said.